What's up everybody, Camro here, and welcome to part 9 of my How to Make a Pokemon Game tutorial series. In this episode, we are going to be looking at script commands. Script commands are special commands that aren't like the events that we were talking about in the previous episode. Like, events are simple to access, just right-click, show text, whatever, but scripts are special. They've been predetermined, and they are unique to Pokemon Essentials. A lot of the event stuff that we talked about, you can use on any other RPG Maker game, but these scripts that we're going to look at are specific to Pokemon Essentials. So without further ado, let's get started. The first and most important one that you're going to be using all the time is the ability to give players items. So there's 3 ways to do it. One such way is this script right here that's already been written. They've all already been written that you can just take from previous locations, but hey, kernel.pb receive item, and then the name of the item. So right now it's antidote, all caps, potion, all caps. The reason that it has to be all caps is because you're using the internal name. Similar to how we created trainers before, and the trainer type had to be all caps. You can go into your items.txt, which is in your PBS folder, which is where, all the trainers.txt was and the trainer types. Items will determine, it shows you all the different types of items that you have. And there is a shit ton. Oh my god, over 500 items. Wow. But yeah, so all caps, shiny stone, yellow shard, soothe bell, you get the idea. So it just has to be all caps, use the internal name. So pb.receive item, what that will do is it will play a little notification and be like, ta-da, you got a potion. There's other ways to add items though, which we will look at very soon. So he says, here, I have a potion, and it goes, ta-da! So that's the script running. It gives you the item. Cool. As intended. Working, looking good. So the next way to add items is to just deposit straight into your bag with no notification, which you can use by calling this script, which is $PokemonBag.pbStoreItem, and then, parentheses, colon, the name of the item, the internal name, so it's all caps again, comma, the number of the item. So this will just give you the item without telling you, without any notification. So it's a good thing to do if you want to give people items at the very start of the game and you don't want it to pop up saying, hey, you got this, you got this, you got this. Or you could just it's really useful if you don't want to show a whole bunch of messages, but you want to give the player a lot of items. So it's pretty good. Or if you want to give them 5 potions. And then the last way is the Pokeball way. So I just really copied the Pokeball from Route 2 that's already been determined. Check it out. Route 2, bloop, bloop. Right here, here's a Pokeball that's already been created that gives you a Great Ball. Essentially what it does though, is it calls a conditional branch, and then it turns a self switch A on. So we talked about self switches before. It gives you the item, and then if you want to change the item, you can just do edit, and then type in a new item here. And then turn self switch A on, and then when self switch A is on, the Pokeball is gone. So that's pretty cool, right? So you get the item, and then the Pokeball disappears. So that's, by design, that's working as intended, right? So let's take a look at some of those. And then this will segue into the next script pretty well. But first, let's look at the items. So this guy says, hey, I'm giving you multiple items with no message. Let's talk to him a couple times. 3 times. So we talked to him 3 times, and each time he gave us 2 Oran Berries. So 6 Oran Berries, cool. And then I found a rare candy. Nice. And then disappears, cool. So, the self switch for that Pokeball is now on. When self switch A is on, the Pokeball disappears, as intended. But, if I want to change the self switch of it, there is a way to do that. So there's another script, which I put on this little thing here. So let's ignore the fact that this whole town is a clusterfuck. But, so I step on this little switch, boop, and I'm setting the self switch of another event, and I turned A off. So now that A is off, the Pokeball returns. I get the item again, cool, and then A is now on. And then I turn A off. So let's look at the script that did that. So the script right here is pb set self switch, and then, parentheses, 11, which is the number of the event, A, which is A, B, C, or D, which self switch I want to turn off. So in this case, it's A, and then where you want it to be. So it was true, I set it to false. So this sets self switch A to false on event number 11. And the event number is in the top left right there, you can see, for every event. So if you right click or double click any event, you can see in the top left there is an event ID. So that's pretty cool. You can set self switches now, and just like all the other script commands I'm showing you in this episode, I really need to reiterate this and drive this home. I stole it from something that's already been created. So like right here, set self switch. It's pretty useful. I like it. There's a lot of other script commands I'm not going to be talking about in this episode because they're a lot more complex, and right now I'm just going to be covering a lot of the basic important script commands. So giving items, really basic, really important. Setting self switches for other ones, that's decently important. I use it a lot actually when it comes to cutscenes. It's super useful in cutscenes. So let's look at the next one. Let's look at this little berry plant down here. This one's super simple. It's a script and then PB pick berry, and then the type of berry and the number of the berry. So that's one thing to do. And then the other one, when self switch A is on, is PB berry plant. Essentially, what I would recommend you do is just go and copy it from somewhere else. Chesto berry, Asper berry. A lot of these have already been created, so you don't really have to worry about it. It's pretty awesome, but it's really simple. And if you want to change it, you can just make it so when you pick it, you get a new type of berry, and then you can also change the sprite to all the different types of berries. Those are really cool. So the next one, let's see. I don't think. Yeah, so this is a kernel.pb cut. Like a lot of these you don't really have to write yourself. PB headbutt. This is going to do PB rock smash. And then this is what? PB push this boulder. I don't know, these are all really weird, but these scripts are useful. These script commands that do specific things like cut down the tree. And just like all the other ones, these can be found on all the other routes. Cool. Okay. So, we already looked at wild battles, but just in case you forgot or you want to remember, PB wild battle, and then the Pokemon, and then the level of the Pokemon will throw you into a battle. And then what I like to do is find the cry of that Pokemon. So in this case, Zapdos, who's number 145. Sounds like that. I like to play the cry and then start the battle. And here's another really cool pro tip. All the cries have already been downloaded for you. Let's see. So here's the Pokemon game. We can go into audio, and then we can go into sound effects, SE, and then we can go into cries. All the cries are already here, and if you want to get a cry for a specific Pokemon, let's see, I think 150 is Mewtwo. Yeah, that's Mewtwo. Copy it, and then paste it. Boom. So paste it from the cries folder into your sound effects folder. And then now, if I so choose, this Zapdos can play Mewtwo's cry. Don't want to do that, but it's really useful to know that you already have all the cries there. Speaking of cry, some gym leaders make you cry. That's fucking shitty segue. Dude, Whitney, she made me cry. Miltank. But yeah, one thing that's really he's doing receive item too. He gives you TM80. Nice. When you want to give the player a badge, a gym badge, you need to use this particular script command, which is trainer.badges, and then the number of badge equals true. So if you're into programming and you know this concept, this will make sense, and if you're not, this might weird you out, but 0 is the first badge. So badge 0 is the boulder badge. 1 is what, Cascade badge? 2, Lieutenant Surge is what, lightning? What does he give you, Vermilion? No. Anyway, you get the idea. So 0 is the first badge, 1 is the second badge, 2 is the third badge, up to 7. And actually, you can go even more, because there's a second row of badges. But let's just show this off right now. So 0 will give you the first badge. Just think, everything is 1 less. So let me do control to skip this battle. He says, very good, you earned the boulder badge. He gives you the badge, cool. Here you have this TM, and then he gives you the TM. Cool, cool. And then he sets a self switch, so that way you don't battle him again. So now if we look at our guy, you can see he has the first badge, or badge 0. 0 is like the very first index. Okay, so let's look at some other ones. There's some of these are like really simple. This one is just PB Poke Center PC. All that does is when you interact with it, it opens the PC. And this is PB Show Map, which will show the map when you interact with it. These are really common in Pokemon centers. You know, you want to be able to access your PC in the Pokemon Center. You want to be able to see, like, look, it's already done. Like, the PC has already been programmed. You just have to use PB Poke Center, and you'll be able to access it all. It's so great. And then, yeah, this shows the map. I mean, I'll show you how to make your own map later, but this is, like, the way to access it, at least when you're, like, interacting with something in the environment. Okay, so the next one is giving you a Pokedex. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's just, script $trainer.pokedex equals true. And then you turn self-switch A on, so that way it disappears afterwards. So here's the state with it gone. Cool. And it checks to see if you already have a Pokedex, so that's why it's doing script. If the trainer doesn't have a Pokedex, give him a Pokedex. Otherwise it says you already have a Pokedex. Cool. So yeah, that's what you do to just give somebody a Pokedex. So you just need this one line, and then it'll be given to someone. So then the mom character, she has two scripts that are really interesting. She gives you a Pokegear. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. She gives you a Pokegear, which is $trainer.pokegear equals true. So that turns on the Pokegear, gives it to you. And then $Pokemon Global.running shoes equals true. So when I interact with her, she should give me the Pokegear and the running shoes. And I don't know about you, but I always love the running shoes. I keep them on the whole time, or all the time. Look at that! Oh my god! And there's the running animation. So I just hold Z on my keyboard, and I can run around, and it's great! So yeah, you definitely want to give your player running shoes early in the game. I highly recommend it. Okay, so let's look at our next guy. This is the Pokemart guy, which is, there's a ton of crap going on here. But essentially what you need to know is, if you have 0 gym badges, he gives you, these are his choices, a Pokeball or a potion. If your gym badge count is greater than or equal to 1, he has these choices. Greater than or equal to 3, these choices. So essentially, he's selling you more items, the more badges you have. The further you are in the game, the better selection. And then what you can really do is just like right-click edit this guy. And let's see. So if I want him to sell more stuff, there's 2 ways to do it. Like, one thing I like to do actually is have 2 items per line. So it's colon, the item in all caps, comma, colon, the item in all caps, comma. Definitely be sure to have proper formatting here. Let's have him sell us rare candy. And if it's the very end, you don't need a comma, but if you want to have another item, you do need a comma. Do not forget that. It actually did make Pokemon Paradox crash at one point, that I forgot one freaking comma, dude. I forgot one freaking comma. So since I have 0 Pokemon badges, I don't think I saved. I should be able to buy rare candies. There it is. They're expensive, man. What the hell? Okay. And if you want to change the price of it, you can go in your items.txt and figure it out, but I'll explore items in a future episode. So let's look at some other things. So if you want to just give the player a Pokemon, okay, so this is actually really important. If you want to give the player a Pokemon, there's 2 ways to do it. There's actually a lot of ways to do it. So let's look at it. This corner here is basically the give you Pokemon section. So the best, like, unconditional way to give Pokemon, like say you're choosing your starter at the beginning of the game, is this script right here, which is PB add Pokemon, and then, you know, parentheses colon, the Pokemon's internal name in all caps, and then the level. So what this does is it says, hey, you received a Pokemon. Do you want to nickname it? So essentially it's giving you a Bulbasaur at level 5. I mean, I should probably make that Squirtle or Charmander. I mean, no offense to you Bulbasaur lovers, but we know who the favorites are. Just kidding. But yeah, so this will give you, so it prints out the text, which is already written. Do you want Bulbasaur? Yes. I got Bulbasaur. Would you like to give a name to him? Yes. Let's call him... Ooh. It is October, man. We're getting spooky. Ooh was transferred to the PC. Oh, because I have a full party. Oh, what the hell? Oh, it doesn't turn self-switch A off. So, I mean, it doesn't turn it on. So essentially, this event will repeat and repeat and repeat. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's a really good way to add Pokemon. Yeah, just PB add Pokemon, Bulbasaur, and 5. Or Charmander 5, Squirtle 5, if I want to just keep giving myself Pokemon. And then another way to add Pokemon is this way. This is a straightforward example. This was I don't know if you're going to really use this that much, but kernel.pb add Pokemon Mew 20. So it is a conditional branch with scripts, but this is a little more complex. You might not use this as much, but this is an alternative way to add the Pokemon. But yeah, I like this one. PB add Pokemon. You don't really have to do the like conditional branch kernel that much. Okay, so other ways of receiving Pokemon in Pokemon games. Well, you can trade for a Pokemon. This one's a little more complex. Basically, he says, "Hey, my Shucky is great. Would you like to take my Shucky?" If you say yes, then it'll do a conditional branch where it's PB add foreign Pokemon, and then oh my god, look at all this. See, there's a lot of stuff to define. So in all caps, the internal name of the Pokemon, so Shuckle, and then 20, which is the level, and then _I for all that. Okay, whatever. The name of the guy who it belongs to, so in this case it's Kirk, and then the nickname of the Pokemon, Shucky. And then it runs a whole bunch of other scripts where it's like, take good care of Shucky. Oh, never mind, that's it. Okay, never mind, that's it. You don't really have to do that much. There is more advanced ways to trade. If you want to go and find that, I would recommend you go and look at the Cerulean Town Larusian in this case, and go to the Pokemon Fan Club. There's a whole bunch of like advanced complexes for like trading and like look at this. She's got like a really complex trade where you like set the nature and you set the held item and all that stuff. So yeah, if you want to go in depth, you totally have the ability to do so. Another one is a guy who just gives you a Pokemon egg. So very similar. You can just copy all this from the stuff that's already been created, and the name of the Pokemon, or no, not the name. In all caps, the internal name of the Pokemon that you will receive from the egg. So it's all caps, Togepi. And then the fan club president. So this is the name of the guy who gave you the egg. So just two things. That's pretty simple. Just PB generate egg, and then all that. Cool. And then there should be one more. This guy, yeah. So, oh yeah, this is the trade. Okay. So this guy was just giving you a Pokemon. The Shuckle, he said, "Hey, do you want to take it?" Sure, you take it. He wasn't trading. This guy is trading. Fat guy here. Trader. I'm looking for a Rattata. You want to trade it for my Haunter? So it does a lot of scripts here. I would highly recommend, rather than trying to recreate this on your own, you really just copy this guy and tweak it to serve your purposes. But yeah, so there's PB choose Pokemon for trade. What that does is it initiates the screen where you're looking at your Pokemon, and it says, "Hey, do I have a Rattata?" This guy's looking for a Rattata, so it says, "Hey, if you have a Rattata, choose it," and then it checks to see if you can choose it. And if you can't choose it, he'll say, "Oh, you don't have it. Oh, whatever." But if you pass the check, it'll move to the next step where it says, "Okay, let's get started," and then it'll run PB start trade, PB get one, which is basically it's saving the Pokemon you've chosen, the Rattata, as one, and then it does PB species, Haunter, Haha, Andy. So the name of the Pokemon, or the all caps, that's the internal name of the Pokemon. So it's a Haunter named Haha, that's his nickname, and it belongs to Andy. I would highly recommend, though, just copy this and tweak it. Be like, oh, if I want him to trade a Larvesta instead, then just do Larvesta, blah 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 blah, you know, belong to whatever. Okay, so pretty simple. Okay, and now there's one last thing for me to take a look at. This is a little more complex, but every game needs it. You need your Hall of Fame and you need your credits. So this right here, PB Hall of Fame entry, that's it. We'll run the Hall of Fame where it's like da na 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 na, and like, whoa, you beat the game with this team of Pokemon. Oh yeah. And then the next one is it sets the scene to credits. So $ scene equals scene credits new, or .new. So let's take a look at that. The music's going to be terrible. You can change the music if you want to delve into the scripts, which I have done sometimes. But yeah, it'll... Whoa! Hall of Fame! So yeah. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope it helped. Yeah, this is just like a lot of supplementary stuff at this point. After this episode, though, I can go into super specific cases. I'm definitely going to talk about Mega Evolution. I'm definitely going to talk about making your own Pokemon, which I think is super important. I'm going to talk about gym leaders, well, and making your own gym, stuff like that. So yeah, this was, I think, the last episode that shows just general concepts. Like, these are still really important tools to have at your disposal and to know. But, and then it plays the credits, cool. And then I think I can skip the credits. Oh, never mind. The very first time you view the credits, you can't skip it. your credits go here, your credits go here. So that can be edited in the scripts as well. That's the only way to edit it. But yeah, I hope this episode was helpful. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or concerns, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Twitch, let me know. I should be able to help you out. If you have any problems, please don't hesitate to shoot me a quick tweet, and I'll try to help you out as fast as possible. But yeah, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you next time. See you guys.